demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Here's what's happening. A Lakewood man is behind bars after allegedly punching a person in the face. Plus, why New York's Attorney General is suing a massive e-cigarette company. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, he's back with us and is here with a check of our forecast. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Jay, and happy Wednesday, everybody. And what did I spend my day doing yesterday? Having a dental tool stuck in my mouth. That's always fun. Here's a look at First Defense Doppler, and we have nothing going on across the area today. It is going to be another dry day, but again, the clouds are really socked in, and that's really going to be the story throughout the day. 40 over 34 is where we were yesterday, and this is in the record book. 71 and 85 and 8 back in 84. Those are going to be safe for another year. And talking about the cold, we added another below average day onto the calendar. So every single day this month has been below average. So our monthly high now is at 37. We're running 11 degrees below average. We should be near 48 for the month, but there's a chance. Could we see an above average day Thursday? There's a chance. Hour by hour today, lots of clouds around. It is cloudy. It's cloudy and lousy together, but there is a chance for a sprinkle or a flurry through the day. But the better rain chances come later in the week, and the winds come up as well. By the end of the week, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Back to you, Jay.
Alrighty, Dakota. Looking forward to it. Thank you. Our top story. A City of Jamestown man is facing several charges after New York State Police allege he hit a person in the face during a domestic dispute late last week. 30-year-old David Soderberger was arrested following a reported domestic disturbance incident. Now, troopers say that investigation revealed that the man allegedly struck the victim in the face several times, causing injury. Furthermore, police say he had an order of protection to stay away from the victim. Soderberger was arrested, processed, and taken to the Chautauqua County Jail. He faces a number of charges. Well, New York's Attorney General announced the state is suing the electronic cigarette company Juul. The lawsuit claimed that advertising campaigns targeted young people without informing them about the risks of using nicotine. The lawsuit also says Juul engaged in a direct outreach to high school students in New York City. The CDC has identified e-cigarette use or vaping as the source for lung illnesses and a cause of several deaths. New York's Attorney General says Juul's advertising led young people to think e-cigarettes are safe and the company must take responsibility.
Juul basically took a page from Big Tobacco's playbook by marketing its products in a manner that was appealing to underage youth. It misled consumers about the nicotine content of Juul's products. It misrepresented the safety and the therapeutic value of its products by saying they were safer than cigarettes.
Now, a Juul spokesman says the company hasn't reviewed this particular lawsuit. The company is facing a slew of legal battles from other states and cities as well. Well, Congressman Tom Reed says Governor Andrew Cuomo's threat to revoke National Grid's certificate to offer natural gas service in New York is troubling. Reed, during a media conference Wednesday, says pulling National Grid's natural gas license is just dangerous and wrong. The congressman believes that a natural gas pipeline would be the safest way to transport the resource around the state.
That is just not effective. It raises more risk to our communities, putting it on rail. To me, this is showing the extremism driving the policy rather than policy leading the way.
Now, state utility regulators this fall took aim at National Grid for denying natural gas service to more than 1,000 customers in Queens and Brooklyn, since the company blamed New York's rejection of an application for a $1 billion pipeline to bring natural gas from Pennsylvania's shale gas fields. Now, Cuomo says such a pipeline wouldn't be in service until at least next year. National Grid has since revised course and begun connecting customers. Well, Holiday Valley is scheduled to open on Saturday. The announcement was made this morning on the resort's Twitter. A few weeks ago, the ski destination announced that they started making snow. Valley's original target opening date was November 29th instead of November 23rd. So pretty exciting, certainly, I think, for a lot of skiers who maybe want to get out and hit the course. I know Peak and Peak probably will be opening up sometime very soon as well. Hopefully everyone is having a great day. Thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News Now. Got to say hello to Dakota and hello to Scott as well. We have a lot more news to tell you about. Straight ahead, how funding will help several water projects locally. But first, why New York's junior senator is pushing a plan to overhaul the nation's food safety laws. Dakota.
And we'll take a live look downtown. You can see the fog from the DoubleTree camera downtown and the clouds around. Temperature 38 downtown with that dew point at 37 close together means you're going to have some fog. But we'll get into some rain and some wind later in the week. We'll talk about it as WNY News Now continues in a minute. So don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Well, happening now, New York's junior senator is pushing a plan to overhaul the nation's food safety laws by improving inspection, recall, response, and public education. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand says the cornerstone of her plan is to mandate E. coli inspections of ground beef. The senator says while the U.S. Department of Agriculture has made some progress improving food safety regulations, the nation's food safety laws have not been significantly overhauled in more than a century. Gillibrand's plan is to improve food safety to streamline and strengthen regulations at the USDA and FDA. Well, New York State's governor says several local water conservation projects will receive state funding to address water quality challenges. Governor Andrew Cuomo says that more than $16 billion have been awarded to support projects around the state. He says more than 90 farms will benefit from this funding. Locally, the Chautauqua County Soil and Water Conservation District will receive $193,000 to work with farms in the Conowongo Creek watershed. Now, the group also is expected to receive more than $200,000 to work with a farm in the Clymer Pond watershed and $56,000 to work with a farm in the Lake Erie watershed. Well, nearly half of all U.S. adults have some type of cardiovascular disease, and new research shows invasive heart surgeries may not be the answer for everyone. Mandy Gaithner explains more.
Those with stable heart disease may fare well on medications alone instead of having invasive procedures like stents and bypass surgeries, according to a major trial. The findings were presented at the American Heart Association's yearly conference. While chest pain and quality of life in some patients improved with invasive operations, the trial found those procedures didn't significantly change subsequent heart attacks, hospitalization for unstable chest pain or heart failure, resuscitation after cardiac arrest, or death from heart disease. The trial, launched in 2012, included research on more than 5,000 patients in 37 countries, which researchers say is the largest study of its kind. The study's chair estimates hundreds of millions of dollars would be saved in the U.S. if patients without symptoms forego invasive surgeries. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, Mandy, thank you. Now, experts say the debate continues in the medical community but patients should discuss the benefits and risks of both medications and surgical solutions to heart disease with their doctor. Well, students at Jefferson Middle School recently gathered to honor local veterans for Veterans Day. Take a look. Fifth graders served veterans desserts and coffee, part of a long-standing tradition at the school. In addition, the students entertained the vets with songs, poems, and stories to thank them for their service to our country. Now, gathering is an annual tradition for fifth graders there, which has lasted now for about 18 years. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Longer than some of them have been alive for sure. And great to see giving back to our community and to our vets. Well, got to say hello to Cindy. Good afternoon to you. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the broadcast. Hello to Pam. Hello to Renee. Hopefully you are having a good day. Good afternoon to Dave Norberg. He says hello. And Dave Gustafson says, good afternoon. Rather dreary. Totally agree with you, Dave. If we can take a live look here outside, it seems like the clouds are really, really socked in. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He joins us once again to tell us when and if these clouds will move on out of here. And later on, one of Jamestown High School's students' speeches came out on top. The details when WNY News Now rolls along. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Located on the corner of Forest and Newland Avenues in Jamestown, Pronto Mart has everything you've been looking for. An amazing selection of hot foods, a large variety of premier headgear, and smoking accessories to fit any style. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Stop in and visit us today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story: a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
And welcome back. 40 was where we were living yesterday. That was the official high at the Jamestown airport yesterday. 45 in Dunkirk, 46 over in Erie. Look at Olean, only 36. Come on, we can do better than this. Here's the News Now cam. Again, a lot of gray skies. And I know what you're saying, black, it's nasty, it's gross. But you know what? This is what it is around this time of the year until April. A lot of the days are like this. But think of it this way. When we have clouds, the risk of sun cancer goes down. There's a positive. 36 degrees is our current temperature, north wind is 7, and the visibility is down to 3 miles because of the fog that we have at the airport, which is north of the city, and we're going to be contending with some low-lying clouds through the day. So stubborn clouds will just hang tough today and through the next couple of days, so get used to the gray skies. It is gloomy and rather boring kind of weather over the next couple of days. I put the yawn emoji in there for you just for some visualization of what we're going to be doing over the next couple of days. Friday, though, is going to get a little bit more active with a cold front moving on through. It is going to be breezy and mild, and the temperatures drop through the day on Friday, and it's going to be turning much colder once again as we go through the weekend. Here's the satellite and radar composite. Not a whole lot going on across the Northeast right now, and not really a whole lot going on across Western New York. This is the Goes East high-resolution satellite. So again, you're seeing the clouds in really nice high resolution, which is fantastic. And look at this down here. Man, it is raining in Southern California, and this is not going to impact us, but it's kind of noteworthy because it doesn't rain a whole lot down in Southern California. But man, if you are a weather guy down in San Diego, you finally got something to talk about. I'm talking to you, Mark Mathis. All right, here we go. Local ski conditions. And this is the first time this year we put this up because, as Justin just talked about, Holiday Valley has announced that they're going to be opening on the 23rd, a week earlier. So far, nobody else has announced opening dates yet. But, of course, as those come in, we will, of course, update that. And we will, of course, keep you updated right here as that comes in. Zone forecast, Lake Erie shoreline here. Temperatures lower 40s. This is still below average. Another gray and cloudy sky with that northwest wind. Now, the inland areas here, also same story here. Mid to upper 30s, rather calm and cloudy day and rather mostly cloudy. Looking down the road very quickly is going to be the wind, and these are the future wind gusts coming off the computer model. We start tomorrow at noon around 20 miles an hour, but watch what happens as we go later tomorrow night and then going into Friday morning. Wind gusts around 40, 45 miles per hour. I think they'll be below advisory criteria, but it will be breezy Thursday night, and then the winds will still be breezy as we go basically into Friday, and then the winds will die down. I know you've got that Weather Channel app on your phone, and you've got that stock weather app, but that's not local, and you don't get these guys. Download our app. We make the forecast. Next 7 days of your life coming up. 47 tomorrow. 40 is the official high on Friday, but that's going to occur way early in the morning. We're going to be living into the 30s throughout much of the day as temperatures drop with a cold front. And right now, the traveling for Thanksgiving week, not looking bad with temperatures lower to mid 40s. Sports is next. Don't go away.
When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Hump Day, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. For his performance against the Miami Dolphins, Bills quarterback Josh Allen was named this week's Offensive Player of the Week for Week 11 earlier this morning. In their 37-20 victory, Allen passed for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. Allen also ran for a touchdown to go with 56 rush yards. Allen also currently has a streak of pass attempts without an interception at 163. The Buffalo Sabres came up short at home on Tuesday night, losing 4-1 against the Minnesota Wild. Brandon Montour scored Buffalo's only goal of the game with under 4 minutes left in regulation. For Minnesota, Zach Parise scored a pair of goals, and Max Stalock finished with 31 saves on 32 shots on goal. With the loss, Buffalo has lost 8 of their last 9 games, and they will be back in action tomorrow night at 7 o'clock as they will hit the road to take on the Boston Bruins. With a 7:30 jump ball tonight, the 5-8 Brooklyn Nets will host the 6-8 Charlotte Hornets. Brooklyn is coming off of a loss in their last game last Monday against the Indiana Pacers. The Nets will be without starting point guard Kyrie Irving for the 3rd straight game as he is recovering from a right shoulder injury. Meanwhile, Charlotte also lost in their last game, which was also on Monday, a loss against the defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors. Tonight's game will be televised on the Yes Network. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, a Jamestown High School sophomore recently placed first in the local VFW Voice of Democracy speech contest. Madison Arthurs, you see there, her speech on what makes America great was part of a JCC college-level public speaking class. She says the speech gave her an opportunity to give her father, veterans, and those who are currently serving the recognition that they deserve. Now, her Voice of Democracy speech, Dakota, will be sent to the next district VFW level to be judged.
Awesome. That is really cool.
Yeah, it is, certainly. And, I think a lot of people don't take public speaking, they maybe take it for granted because certainly, not something easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's easy for us to say, but even then, like talking to you guys is a lot different than talking in front of an audience. So certainly, I give her a lot of credit for doing what she does because every time I get up there, I still get the butterflies.
Oh, yeah.
So and
even before a show, I still get the butterflies.
Yeah.
Sometimes because I think it's just human nature.
Right.
But the one thing that I told Andrew, because Andrew kind of is a little bit shy when it comes to the on-air work and being public speaking, which is fine. But, the one thing I told Andrew, just imagine everybody in their boxers.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fine.
Exactly. See, I think of sitting down and having a conversation with everyone there, at home, at the gym, at the diner, wherever you are right now watching us. And I don't think of, the mass, but rather just the individual person. I think it always helps. And that helps for public speaking too, especially if they say if you can get a target in the room and that's the person you talk to generally, then you
And it also helps too, like if you think of the camera or if you think of the audience as somebody that you know. Like for example, with the camera, I look you straight into that lens and I just pretend I'm talking to myself, the mirror, or I'm talking to Justin.
There's a little HD mark right above the camera to signify that it's a high definition, so we got to put the extra makeup on.
Yeah, makeup.
Exactly.
Stylist.
Norm, he says Andrew's gotten a lot better, and he has.
Yes.
Albeit we miss you, Dakota, when you were gone, but Andrew's just part of the guys. And
I would have rather have been here than having a dental tool shoved in my mouth, to be honest with you. But it's all a part of life. You got to do things.
You got a couple of cavities, I've been told.
Let's take a look at the planner for tomorrow. We're not going to talk about
brush
that.
a little better.
Let's take a look at the planner here. So 7 a.m. tomorrow, 32. We should be around average tomorrow, but more clouds than sun throughout the day. That's been the case throughout the last several days, but it's November. This is what November is like around here, and the winter is going to be kind of gloomy, as it always is. So wait until we go to April when we start to see the sun coming back. So get used to clouds.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Got to say hello to Renee. She says she'll take the 40s any day. And totally agree with you there, Renee. Thanks so much for joining us on the broadcast. Good to see Janet and Corey. Johnny says, too many you-knows. I guess instead of getting an A+, we get a B, but it's okay, Dakota. So
I think that's directed to me.
It is what it is. So Dakota,
I'm a big boy. I can take it.
Yeah, we appreciate it, John. And the other thing too, it's so difficult talking about public speaking.
I have peace just fell out.
It's so difficult talking about public speaking, in that when you have a pause or your brain thinks, not to explain it too much because you guys probably really don't care, but when you have a pause or your brain thinks, you have to accept that it's okay not to say anything. So thank you, John. We appreciate you know that. That does it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Hope to see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.